Buffy fans, I am so close to the halfway point of season 4 of Buffy and season 1 of Angel, respectively. I'm having an enormously fun time. Yes, is there misery around every corner? There sure is. Can I have one nice thing for more than 5 minutes? No, I can't. However, both of these shows remain very unpredictable to me, and I'm entertained almost like 98% of the time. There's like only a 2% amount of the time that I'm like, okay, the rest of it, I'm enjoying. I'm intrigued. I'm like, what is going to happen next? I sincerely can't predict it. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about episode 9, Something Blue, which I hear is a fan favorite of you guys, and Angel, respectively, episode 9, called Hero. So let's get into it. So Something Blue, immediate gut punch at the top of the episode with the photo of Willow and Oz that pans over to a very depressed Willow. And everything they say in the dialogue of this episode makes it very clear that they've shut the door on Oz coming back. Obviously, Seth Green was removed from like the title sequence, which obviously means that he's no longer billed on the show as like recurring or series regular at all in any way. And I don't have any hopes for him being a guest star in the future. It seems like Seth Green moved on. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there'll be like a guest appearance at some point later on. I am not holding out hope though, and I just hope that Willow finds someone even better. I know Oz is still alive, but rip Oz. You were loved by me. So the Spike saga continues in this episode, and we're going to get into it. I know this episode must be a fan favorite for those of you who like Buffy, which I never really understood. But after seeing this episode, I went, okay, I can see a little bit of like an enemies to lovers type of thing going on here. They're like, oh, we hate each other. It's kind of like the same thing that Cordelia and Xander had with each other at the beginning, and then they started furiously making out. You know what I mean? They love to deal with that dynamic in this show. So here we have Spike tied up in Giles's bathtub, still in Giles's home, being absolutely pathetic. Love to see it. Willow doing the spell in the dorm bathroom. Can you imagine walking in on that, by the way? You're just trying to pee in the middle of the night and you walk in, and one of your classmates is doing a full-on witch ritual in the dorm bathroom. Wild times. Anyways, the whole Giles going blind thing crazy. When I realized that everything that Willow basically stated became true, I was like, oh, this could go in so many ways. And it went in the way of Buffy and Spike wanting to get married, or planning on getting married. Thus the title, Something Blue. I was screaming at the amount of making out they were doing in this episode. Excuse me? Anyways, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you guys. It wasn't not hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen. Spike has Riz. He does. What do you want from me? I'm starting to see the vision. I was not understanding the vision for a couple seasons, but I'm starting to see the vision. Yeah, he's growing on me. Anyways, put a pin on that. I thought that one moment where Amy the rat became Amy the person for like a split second and then back to being a rat, hilarious. The fact that they brought her back just for that one split second shot was hysterical to me. Very funny. Of course, Anya and Xander finally have an alone moment, and he becomes a literal demon magnet, because this is what happens to Xander. Like, he can't have 4 seconds of peace. He is the comedic relief, and that is his curse, so to speak. I wrote here, so on the topic of Spike, I was like, man, this guy has Riz. He's got crazy like Leo Riz, like the kind of Riz that only on a Leo man. And so I was like, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of Misha Collins. As a joke, I looked up this actor's birthday. I was like, oh, maybe he's born in or around August. Dog, he was born on August 20th. Do you know who else was born on August 20th? Misha Collins. So Misha Collins and James Marsters were born on the same day. Now, like almost a decade apart, but on the same day, August 20th. Crazy times. It is Leo Riz. I fucking called it. I knew it. By the way, the monster prosthetics on these shows at this point in time are really good. Like, I can't imagine how big their prosthetic, special effects, makeup, and hair teams were, because some of these episodes, like this one in particular, have so many people in like full like horn, demon face, vampire face makeup, and it's getting better and better looking as the seasons go on. And I know how much time that stuff takes. So like, props to them because it looks incredible. Minus the werewolf suits on occasion, which make me laugh until I die. Those will continue to be funny. And like in the last episode, I forgot to mention this, when the guy turns into a bear, the bear suit, I was in stitches laughing. Anyways, the quote, bloody hell, and then she goes, spike lips, lips of spike, when the spell was broken, and they're like, ew, gross, we were making out. I'm like, was it gross though? I know you're pretending. I know you're thinking like, oh, that was gross. I don't want to kiss this person who I hate. I don't know though. Sometimes there might be a little something under there, like, ooh. Anyways, I thought that at the end Willow's shirt that said "Speak No Evil" and had the little like demon horns on the person on her shirt, very on the nose, very funny. I approve. A great episode. I had a great time, and honestly, I needed this comedic relief after watching that last episode of Angel that tore my heart out of my chest. Like I needed a little something to soothe my soul. The last episode of Angel felt like an angst, no happy ending fic, and this episode of Buffy felt like a crack treated seriously fic. You know? And I love to see it. So now we have Angel, episode 9, called Hero. And I love that they're calling him the Dark Avenger. Cute. The little like commercial that we're trying to film at the top of the episode was very funny. I like it when this show does comedy and brings Cordelia into it. Like, it's fantastic. So here's the thing, y'all. Remember how I was like, I don't know how I feel about Doyle, like blah, 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 whatever. So I started feeling quite fond of him in the last few episodes, especially like around Cordelia and like that whole dynamic. And in this episode, I was like, oh, like Angel's depressed about Buffy, but like now we're gonna focus on Doyle. Like that'll be cool. We got this whole like racism in the demon world plot, where everything is like a thinly veiled, not even thinly veiled again, metaphor. I was like, they had these demons in literal uniforms. I don't know if I can say that on this platform. Like World War II, like crazy, not even, they just went to like a period piece store and bought a bunch of those uniforms and then put these demons in those uniforms, and they were like, here's your metaphor. Crazy. The whole like backstory on Doyle being like not a pure blood, absolutely like very serious subject matters, and I was feeling very fond of him, which is my first indication that something bad is about to happen, right? So I love this whole bit where like I'm reading my notes here, like Doyle was wondering why Angel would give back his mortality, and then Doyle being like, you know, this actually proves Cordelia's theory that you're a hero, Angel. Like if I was in that position, I probably would have chosen like pleasure over duty and honor. And Angel's like, no one knows what you'll do until the choice is thrust upon you. Well, what do we have here? I literally wrote, I like Doyle more now. Cordelia finally being okay with all of this, and him being half demon does not faze her at all, which I love that little bit, right? Going right into Doyle sacrificing himself. I wrote in all caps here. I said, Doyle sacrificed himself? That's it? He threw it away to do the right thing and to be a hero like Angel did? He's gone? That's my last note for this episode. Because at first, you know, coming from shows like Supernatural, I was like, oh, is he like dead though? No, bro was, as the sacrifice went on in that scene, I was like, oh no, there's no coming back from this. Like they're actually going there. And I was very confused at first. I was like, why are we getting rid of this main character 9 episodes into the show? I finally got used to him. I finally liked having him around. But then someone told me that, very sadly, tragically, the actor, I guess, was dealing with addiction issues, and they needed to write him off. And then I guess the actor passed away a few years later, which makes me really, really sad. That just makes me sad. I don't have commentary on that other than I'm now gonna miss Doyle, and rest in peace to that actor. And I don't know who they're gonna replace him with. Like now it's just Cordelia and Angel. They have to have a third, otherwise that's weird. So I'm like, Lord help me. I saw the like teaser for the next episode, and it said Wesley, and if it's that motherfucker from Buffy, I'm gonna crash out. So watch this space. Anyways, another banger 2 episodes.